Hello everybody and welcome. You are listening to MFL Total Access here at Terry Bablis' place. We got a special edition of MFL Total Access today. We got our grading hats on, we got our glasses, we got our pen, we got our red markers. Today's about the grades.
Gosh, feels like forever we didn't do a show, eh?
I know, for real. I haven't seen you. Well, I have seen you, but it feels like...
Our loyal listeners must have been so sad last week.
Sorry about that, guys. We're back. This is going to be a double special episode because we missed last week.
Since we're not really going to be talking about the games to recap, quickly, like any great highlight, catch that caught your eye?
I'm going to say highlight game was the red zone against Joey's Haters.
Oh my God.
46-45. Incredible in that game. You look at the stats, folks, look them up right now. The quarterback stats are identical in that game.
Yeah.
7 touchdowns to 1 pick, 7 touchdowns to 1 pick.
Completion percentage, yards.
Same amount of completions. I think the, like I said, touchdown interception ratio was the same. And it was, the number of yards too was like a 3-yard difference. It was a crazy game. I heard Red Zone won last play of the game. They got a TD and they got the conversion.
It's as if maybe, was it Field 4 there, the new soccer field? It's kind of like maybe they didn't play the game.
Yeah.
And Max and Mike just flip the coin to see who wins it. And then they say, okay, we'll give John these stats. And we'll say, like, this is what happened. Because they have like the exact same stats. It's literally crazy.
I didn't realize that was on Field 4.
Yeah.
By the way, Field 4, I think it was pretty good.
Yeah,
I think it
one of the best ones. Yeah. And even
good.
the other field, the way Kevin did his job of like placing the fields, like every field was like pretty legit. Like
it was good, honestly. And
what a turn events, like considering like it gets canceled 1 week, then we come back out and like the fields are pretty like legit.
Seriously, I believe that was the first time ever MFL was cancelled, right?
First time ever.
Damn, it's tough, but we rebounded well. We got
what
the
a bold
field.
prediction that would have been, eh?
Oh man, shoot! We always talk about the grass, but we never predicted the grass would be so bad we wouldn't be able to play.
That was like more than bold if we would have predicted that.
Yeah, that's true.
And then John would have thought we had like something to do with it.
Definitely, we went out like Friday night and like started mucking up the field. But yeah, no, Field 4 was good. That was an incredible game. Anything that caught your attention this past weekend?
It was actually the game I was reffing. Your game, that one-handed catch that JC made. JC in a losing effort as a sub.
Yes.
Usually we don't mention those things, but like that could be like catch of the year candidate right there.
That was nice. I remember I was rushing and I turned around. I just see like it's a picture of him, JC, boop, and then he brought it in.
Speaking about you rushing, did you have like 10 bat downs this weekend?
I did. I wasn't going to mention. No, I think I had about 5 or 6, but it was fun rushing, and maybe I'll rush this week. But yes, JC's catch was one of the highlight reels. Maybe it'll be in the video.
I don't remember.
When did the videos come out? Wait, Wednesday or Thursday?
Wednesday or Thursday.
Okay.
Sometimes Tuesday.
Okay.
But I hope it is. Your catch will be in the video.
Yes, it will.
Thunder Buddy's game-winning touchdown on the last play that Willie catches.
Yes.
And he points to the camera.
Yes, I
Did
do.
you say anything?
I didn't say anything. No,
okay.
I didn't say anything. Yeah, I went tried to calm it down a little bit.
All right. Okay, let's get right to it. So we'll start with D1.
Yes.
Let's start with the henchman. None other than the henchman.
Yes, and we have a format of how we're doing this. We're gonna go from, I don't know if I should say that on there, but anyways, we're going from the 5th place team downwards, and then back up to the 1st, and then we're gonna do it in that order. We just thought it'd be cool to do it that way. I didn't know henchmen were 5th, so it worked out.
We're gonna try not to forget a team this time.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. I want to just go like the order of the standings, but Will said it doesn't work that way.
That's boring because it's going to be A, this team gets a B, this team gets a C.
No, because you could still get like a C and have a disappointing season, even though you're 4-1 and first in the standings, right? Like you could like just barely beat teams, right?
It's very boring and unoriginal. Henchman, give me your take.
Wait. Let's just explain what constitutes an A for you.
Okay, it's a good. Okay, so like we've said, like an A is like a team that's. Like,
are you basing it off your expectations at the beginning of the season? Are you basing it off the record? What are you basing it off?
I'm gonna say it's good. I'd say 70% based off the record, 30% expectations. Like let's say if a team is 5-0 and they won every game by 1 point, and they were, I'm not gonna give them a B. Like if you're undefeated, you deserve an A or an A- or an A+. So mainly it's gonna be based off record. It'll also.
We're doing plus and minuses.
Oh yeah, 100%. Okay. Yeah, of course we are. It'll base off some of the games that I've refed, which haven't been too many over the last few weeks, but over progress, how I see like the quarterback playing on the team, and also about your matchups, how close games were, and that's it. If you won games, you're your favorite to win, vice versa. A lot of expectations because there's some like this is what we got to do. Like there's some teams that we know, and if they have a 500 record, we expect better. That's going to result in the grade.
I'm mainly basing off expectations. Like if I thought at this point in the season you should be 5-0 and you're 3-2, well, you're not getting an A or a B most probably, right? Unless you have like a 1-point loss against a team that's like undefeated or something like that.
Yeah.
Also basing it like more weight on the last 2-3 weeks than the first and second week.
That works.
What else? I guess we're just gonna go with the flow.
Yeah, we go with the flow. We do.
So starting off with henchmen, you guys had that week 1 OT loss to Holy Trollers, who are tied for first place right now.
Yep.
And you only have the loss against Centurions, who you always lose against.
Yeah.
Out of your 3 wins, you beat Honor Game twice, so you have 2 wins against a winless team.
Yep, that's true.
Even though the last one was very, very impressive.
Yeah.
It showed in that win that you guys were a complete team, and you guys just didn't win that game. You completely crushed them. And obviously the biggest win on your resume is being the Outlaws.
Yep.
What would you grade yourselves?
I'd give us a B.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Maybe even a B plus, I'd say.
Okay, I'm gonna say B.
Based on the way you played you had your two biggest wins of the season, the last two games.
Yeah, that's true. No, definitely the last 2 weeks have been very good.
And look at your schedule. Your next 3 games are going to be tough ones. You have the Gold Cup coming up.
Yeah.
Who you haven't played yet, and you guys are tied currently in the standings with them. Les Centurions, who you guys never beat.
Yeah.
And then the Holy Trollers again, who you guys lost in OT, who are one of the top teams in this division. So it's going to be interesting to see the fight to the finish for which 4 teams are going to make the playoffs in this division.
A huge game, huge 2 games this weekend actually involves both of us. One of them is, like you said, us against Gokak, because right now we're both 3-2. We're battling for that 4 spot. You guys are playing Holy Trollers. The winner gets first place, right? So 2 big games in D1 coming up this weekend. But like you said, we're talking about the Henchmen now. I think that unfortunately, like you said, whenever we come down to close games against Centurions, they seem to pull it out of the hat. And the week 1 game against Holy Trolls was a really good game. They ended up winning that game in overtime, but like you said, they're a really good team. And I know for the Outlaws game, you guys were missing, you weren't there, you guys were missing a few other pieces, but I think anytime you can beat a team like the Outlaws and give them their first loss, I think that gives us a lot of brownie points. But we've been clicking on all cylinders. Rossi had a very good game.
Do you know why they call it brownie points?
No, I don't even like brownies. But Rossi probably had his best game, not even probably statistically, but that I've seen him play in the MFL, maybe even ever. He was hitting receivers in stride, right over the defender, running when he needed to, and he had a really good game. And yeah.
And look at your stats. Your team stats, ball distribution is great. You guys have 4 receivers with 4 touchdowns or more. You guys got 2 guys on the defense in Felix, who was a huge addition for you guys with 4 interceptions so far. Chris Hope also having 4 interceptions.
Yeah.
They're basically averaging almost a pick a game for you guys back there.
It's huge. I think defensively we've been very solid, and I think that's something that's carrying us to closer wins has been our defense clutching up when we need them to.
You got 10 PDs in 5 games.
Yeah.
I think 9 of them came in the last one.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, so far good season for Henchmen. Huh?
Yeah, pretty good so far. 3-2, not bad. Definitely, obviously, want to make the playoffs. I think we have the talent to make the playoffs and make some noise.
I think it's fair to say you guys have almost as good chance of making it as to not making it right now, right?
Yeah, that's fair.
It's clearly like a 50-50 at this point.
I know. Which that's why I wouldn't give us a B+, because I think with the team we have, we shouldn't be at a 50-50 halfway through the season. Although last 2 games were good. If we didn't win. If we didn't go 2-0 the last 2 games, I think we'd be in trouble. If we're at 2-3 right now, and then we got 2 other teams ahead of us at 3-2, I think the close win against you guys was big, and obviously winning this past weekend against Honor Game was even bigger.
That's enough talking about the Henchmen. Let's go to Bitter Boys.
Yep.
Bitter Boys, kind of like a new and revamped Bitter Boys this season, like with a 12-man roster coming into games. Their only win came against Les Gros Coqs.
That I called?
Yes, yeah.
Yep.
That was crazy. That they didn't have them before playing for them in that game, so they ran less RPOs and stuff like that. But
yeah, good call.
they're averaging 24 points a game and 39 against. Yeah. When you look at this team, I feel they play better than the final score indicates. I feel they feel they're more in the game, but then you look at the score and it's still one-sided. And like for the games that I refed of them or played against them, like their defense is good, but somehow they're still letting up so many points. And the offense seems to be driving, but then they just stall at some point. It's weird because like early on in the season, I saw them against Centurions, I saw them against Gold Cook. They lost big, but like I felt that like they could have won that game at some point in the game.
Right. It's so funny you say that. I was roughing one of the games early in the morning when they played against Holy Trollers this past weekend. And sorry, it was against you guys. They played 2 games against Outlaws.
You didn't ref that game?
Sorry?
You didn't ref
No, I was roughing another game at the time.
Okay.
And then my game finished early, and whenever I look over to see the game, like it looked like it was a close game, and then I asked one of the guys to score JC, and he said Outlaws were winning by a lot. So it seems like these guys, I don't know, how do you explain that? They're in games, but at the same time they're down by 2 possessions. I think it's maybe the fact that maybe you said finishing off drives, and you got to capitalize. You got to kind of like once you drive down to the red zone, you got to punch it in there. But I totally agree. This team is way better than the record stinks. And like when you look at the plus minus of 24 and almost 40 points against, like it doesn't seem that way.
I think like looking at the stats and everything, like look, Jean-Sébastien Betty has 21 touchdowns in 6 games, but he also has a 55% completion percentage.
Right.
So like what like
he seems to be going deep a lot from what I see.
And like my thing is that I think offensively and defensively, for example, It'll go like incomplete first down, incomplete second down, incomplete third down, 45 bomb on fourth down.
Okay.
And then defensively, they'll stop you on first, they'll stop you on second, they'll stop you on third, and then they'll leave the big fourth down conversion.
Okay,
so
got you.
They're converting more plays on they're being better on defense on more plays, but then they're leaving the big play, which nullifies all of that.
Exactly.
And then on offense, they're not as good on the majority of their plays, but then they score the big 45 bomb. Like, Guillaume Rabel's an absolute stud.
Okay, can someone cover him? Like, I don't understand. Every game, okay, 2 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns, over 100 yards.
Yeah, no, he's not coverable. No.
It's I think I only I think I've never actually played against him. The one time we played against Bitter Boys last season, I believe he wasn't there. Obviously, statistically, I know how good he is, but I'm excited to finally see it in action.
So what's so good you got for them?
I'm gonna go with partly due to expectations. I'm gonna go with a C-.
That's exactly what I was going to go.
Really?
I was wondering what we gave them last year. 'Cause they're far better than where they were at this
I was
point
going to say
last year.
D+, but D+ is harsh considering they did win against a good team like Gokok, and considering even though they seem to be getting blown out, they have been in the majority of games. I'm going to say C-.
I think last year at this point in the season we were saying this is not a D1 team.
Right, exactly.
But this is a D1 team this year. They're just not getting like the better
bounces. Totally agree. I think that's well said.
So let's go with Honor Game. Honor Game, after losing that crucial finals in D2, moving up to D1, making the jump, have a little bit of rotation of players. You know, they didn't have like their full roster set when week 1 kicked in.
Yeah.
Having a lot of subs here and there. This past weekend, they had a really tough matchup against Henchmen, being only 6 on top of it.
Yeah.
They're winless right now, but they're also averaging 29, almost 30 points a game.
Right, which is a lot.
43 against. So, like, I don't think the offense is the problem. Dave has adjusted well, scoring against these D1 defenses. Like, his interceptions are high, but they've always been high. Remember when we were talking about the QB of the year race?
Right.
We were saying his interceptions are high, but he still gets it done. Even regardless of those interceptions, he still has over 200 yards passing a game, averaging over 4 touchdowns a game. And, like...
He's like a Jameis Winston.
Yeah.
Like, you get through the picks,
that's a compliment there.
No, Dave, if you're watching, I don't mean it in a bad way. I'm saying, like, look, if you like, 3 interceptions obviously isn't good, but if you're putting up 5 touchdowns a game, you're putting up 5 touchdowns a game.
That's the thing, and putting up 5 touchdowns a game, 200 yards, like, different rosters every week. Obviously, we knew it would be an adjustment.
That's a great, sorry to cut you off, that's a great point, is he hasn't had, obviously he's had his brothers playing and Laurent playing, but he's had guys in and out of the lineup, which is, like, really hard. Football, we talk about it, flag football, it's all about chemistry. You can take DeAndre Hopkins from the NFL. If you don't have good chemistry with him, I mean, he's really good, but you know what I'm trying to say. And he's built chemistry with these guys that he hasn't played with.
He could be running a fly on the left wide, and you could throw the fly to the right wide, and DeAndre would get it, you know?
He catch it with his pinky. I know what you mean. But no, like, credit to Dave for, like, obviously not the fact that they're winless, but for putting up 30 points per game with a completely new offense and guys are in and out of the lineup.
And early in the season, like, I think that gold cut game, he had it in the bag, and then he kind of threw a bad pick late in the game.
Yeah.
Then week 2, he lost by 4 points to Henchmen.
Yeah.
And then, you know the Honor Game franchise, they're used to winning, right?
Yeah.
They're all about winning.
Yeah.
Like, they win and they crush teams, and they celebrate. And they're having a hard time winning right now, so I'm kind of scared they kind of, like, gave up on the season. Like, after those 2 games, they saw that they were 0-2 early on, and then you see it kind of derailed. They lost by 10, they lost by 16, and now they lost by a lot against Henchmen this past weekend. And, like, we saw that first time they played you, like, that game was intense.
We won by 4.
Yeah, and that game could have went either way. The guys had a big lead. They came back. They didn't give up. And that's Honor Game football like that. And now we're not really seeing it anymore. Yeah. Obviously, the lack of players, consistent players, doesn't help. Mm-hmm. But followers, I think I'm going to have to go with a D+.
I'm going D-.
Because at the end of the day, they are 0-5.
I'm going to go D- simply because we do talk about chemistry, and I did bring it up, but, like, this team is good. The Daou brothers at the wide receiver position are great players. They're also really good defenders. Laurent, I can make the case he's the best snapper in MFL. Dave's a good quarterback. Hinsey wasn't there this weekend. Obviously, one of the faster players in the league. So, yes, transitioning to D1 is difficult. However, I do think that this team has the talent to compete in the division. I don't know, D- maybe a little bit tough, but they're winless, Terry, and, like,
it's your former team, man.
That's why I'm being tough on them, because I know.
That's why you didn't give them an F.
No, I'm being tough on them because I know how good they are, and I know that they're good players, and that they play well together, and at times they can implode on each other. But I do think that, look, they're winless now. Now you like, there's still the 2.5 games behind the last place team, behind the 4th place team. So there's still a lot to play for. But look, now you can kind of just go in there. Okay, there's, like, no pressure on us. We're not expected to make the playoffs. Go there, play your game, and And I think that they won't go winless. They'll definitely win at least 1 or 2 games this season. But the season's not over for them. I really hope they don't quit. And I think that Dave will have these guys rallying soon enough.
And that's where expectations come into play for our grades. A good example right now is that I think last year Holy Troll was one of the only teams who gave an F2.
Right.
And it was because we were expecting them to be one of the top teams.
Yes, exactly.
Honor even weren't expecting them to be top 2, top 3. That's why even though they're 0-5, not any great things to say, they still don't deserve the F.
Right.
But
no, they don't.
That being said, you spoke about the transition from D2. We had Centurions transition last year.
Yes.
And they were 1 play away from making it to the D1 finals in their first season in D1.
Yeah, that's true.
And they exceeded our expectations.
Right, but to be fair, Centurions have the same players that show up every game.
Yeah.
Right? Like they have the core roster and Honor Game has been doing the henchmen of like the first year, right? Remember, okay, you want to play football? Yeah, grab you. You look like you're athletic, we're gonna grab, like, you know what I mean? It's tough doing games that way.
So are you saying had Marvin and you stayed on Honor Game, you guys would maybe be in the finals in D1?
I didn't say it. But no, I think we're excited, Marvin and I, to be on our respective teams. But hopefully get back to playing Honor Game soon.
Okay, let's go to Outlaws. Outlaws averaging over 40 points a game, giving up 25, defending D1 champs.
Yep.
Only loss coming against Henchmen.
Yep.
After that, beating Bitter Boys past weekend 45-30.
Yeah.
What do you got to say about them?
Good season so far. Obviously, we don't know what's happening with Svetna, Jonathan Svetna. He's up in the air. So if he comes back, that'd be huge for you guys. If not, that'd be a pretty big loss. But so far so good. The season's been really good. I see very similar to what happens last year. Offensively, you guys are scoring. I don't think the offense is a problem. I think maybe defensively, I thought you guys would be a little bit better on the defensive side of the ball. I know 25 points per game is not much, but I see kind of uncharacteristic plays being given up by the Outlaws defense. However, I still would say you guys are number 1 in the power rankings. I'd still pick you guys as the best team in D1.
Oh, that will come to being tested this
right, and that's what I purposely told John I couldn't ref that time slot because I wanted to see the Trollers.
You would have never refed the D1.
Maybe I'll be refing.
Telling this every week.
No, I'm saying to at least watch it.
Okay.
But well, I mean, there's a chance I ref it because you won't be there, and since you're like one of the better refs, you can't ref your own game.
I wouldn't have refed anyway because I would have been playing.
No, that's what I mean. So either way,
so the fact that I'm not there doesn't change anything for your chance of reffing.
Right, that's true. Yeah. Well, anyway, the schedule's coming out soon. I wouldn't be surprised if I'm reffing that game. But I like what the Outlaws are doing this season. Kevin Shmuda is back to Kevin Shmuda.
You know what he's on pace for?
1,000 catches.
90 catches, 900 yards, and 24 touchdowns.
Like, what do you want me to say?
His stats right now after 5 games are 45, 450, and 12. And that's like after 5 games. That's like better than that's like top 5. If he ended the season right now, that'd be like top 5.
Some teams in D4 don't even have those stats. They don't have 20. They don't even have 90 catches on the year.
Facts.
That's crazy. Though. You said he'll be 24 touchdowns.
Yeah, he has 12 in 5 games.
What's the record?
20.
Is it really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 20.
By Shmuda?
No, it was by JC.
Really?
Yeah, that Marvin was chasing last year and.
Yes, I remember the story. How could I forget?
Yeah.
So basically, you're saying Kevin Shmuda's on pace to break the record.
Yeah. So Marvin has something to say about that.
But no, I really like what you guys are doing. In terms of a grade, I'll give you guys an A-.
I'll go with an A.
Yeah, thought you would.
Let's go with Holy Trollers.
But speaking of which, I think, transitioning perfectly. I was going to say, a lot's going to be determined this weekend when we play Trollers. So speaking of Trollers...
Trollers' only loss came to the Outlaws.
Right.
This season.
In a game that wasn't particularly close, eh?
No, it was very close at the beginning, but then the Outlaws just pulled away from it and this final score is 39-14. Max threw a couple of bad interceptions in that game, but then he's pretty much played flawless every other game, right?
This season. Yeah, and including D2.
Yes.
And including the D4 game he subbed in, which I don't know how that was allowed.
I forgot about that game.
Sorry, I wasn't going to bring it up.
So, Trollers, we could very easily see the addition of Phil Farran is paying dividends.
I was thinking about the other day, and I think if the season ended today, he's my MVP.
Through 4 games, he has 419 yards.
And how many?
And 8 touchdowns.
And how many interceptions?
Well, just offensively.
Yes, you're right.
He's averaging over 100 yards and 2 touchdowns a game. So you add a player, and he already had stacked players. You had JC, you had Josh, you had Max Dury, Sean, Ben, Lesniak, and now you just add a player that's statistically he's outgaining all of them.
It's crazy.
So
and he's never quarterbacked with Max before.
Yeah, so let's say your 1-2 is JC Josh, they're your 2-3 now. Statistically.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm talking about statistics, when you look at the stats,
right.
They dropped to 2-3. So imagine that. And you asked his interceptions. He has 4 in 4 games. It's reasonable.
Well, I mean, so he's averaging. So he's on pace to have 20 touchdowns and 10 picks.
He's averaging basically my stats as a quarterback: 100 yards, 2 touchdowns a pick.
Well said. But
That's crazy. It's literally
no. It is. It was funny. I was talking to Kareem the other day when he subbed from Honor Game, and I was like, "How did this guy torture you?" He's like, "Bro, he just runs straight. No one can catch him. He's like, he just runs straight. He throws. Max throws a ball, and he catches it. Like that's it. Like no one around him."
And I was reffing his Veteran game. It's either he does that, or he literally just turns around for like a negative -1 yard hook that he grabs, then he makes like 10-yard yak out of it. Like, just get that guy the ball in his hands.
100% playmaker. But no, I think, like, all kidding aside, I know we talk about him a lot, and like we try to talk about him less because he gets a lot of media attention.
But he's also a great guy.
Yes, 100%, which also helps. Stay humble, folks. But I think that if this is ended today, he'd be my MVP.
That's I think that's fair. Like,
yeah.
I didn't put any thought to it yet.
Me neither.
We'll have another episode talking about our early awards there, but that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Quickly like this.
Look, if you look at like offensively, how he's
as long as you don't keep banging down those passes, a rusher.
Good call. Defensively, playing great. So in terms of the Holy Trollers, look, I'd say that I see that even before I felt Max had this breakout-ish season. I know the knock on has been that like he maybe hasn't played great in like important games and stuff like that. Maybe he hasn't been clutch. I've always been a big fan of his. Like personally, he's a super chill guy, but also the way he plays. He's a very smart play caller. He doesn't throw interceptions. He has a great deep ball.
That's a great ball.
He has great hips, and honestly, like I think that if we're looking
want to throw another compliment there because you know he's watching.
I know. I'm not even doing. I promise I'm not even doing it on purpose because he's watching. But I would say Steve is definitely the number 1 quarterback in the division. But I would say that Max is not far behind. I think that he's playing great, and I'm really not surprised to see the Holy Trollers do well. I was thinking before last year. I thought they'd make a run. Surprised didn't make the playoffs in last season, but I really do like this team, and I'm gonna have a hard time picking that Holy Trollers Outlaws game. So in terms of grade, give me an A- for them as well.
I gotta give them an A.
Yeah,
like I gotta give them an A, and like with a chance to like if they beat the Outlaws this weekend, it's going to an A+.
Man, that's gonna be a good game.
Like you cannot give them an A+ if they beat the Outlaws this weekend. And what a turn of events going from F to A. Like
I know, seriously. 100%.
Like you know when the score releases like their 0 to hero like rankings. Like which team has the most chance of being like last in division to being first in division.
Yeah.
Like this was for sure one of them.
Start from the bottom now, yeah.
Yeah. He's still hoping that happens with the Miami one day.
Yeah, but I want to see Miami win 1 Super Bowl in my lifetime. So right now I'm 24. I'm going to live to 100. So that's 76 years. And they should have been 1 in the next 76 years. What am I kidding? I hope we win the division once in the next 76 years.
Have you ever seen them win the division? No way.
Yes, it was the year that Brady got injured.
Miami won the division that year?
Yes, Brady got injured that year. It was the year that we beat Brett Favre in the final week. Chad Pennington at quarterback. And then we lost to the Ravens in the first playoff game by like 31. But it doesn't matter.
We still got a couple of teams left to do. Les Gros Coq sitting at 3-2.
I feel like Les Gros Coq, Les Petits Fuck are kind of hard to assess because like their roster hasn't been the same, right? Like, I mean, Dom's missed a few games. Petit Fuck, like it seems to be like everyone's there's a new player quarterback from them every week.
Well, Les Gros Coq are pretty much with Dom in the lineup 3-1, and their only loss came to the Outlaws.
Right.
When both teams were undefeated at the time.
True.
They have a big win against Centurions this past weekend, but Centurions didn't have their starting quarterback in that game, so it's really hard to assess them and give them a grade at this point.
Yeah, it is. I'm gonna go with a B+.
I'll go with a B.
I was debating going B+. I'm gonna go with B+, simply because you said it. You got to assume that Dom's going to be in the lineup for the most part, and when he's there, you said the 3-1 only losses to the first place Outlaws, like you talked about. And look, this team is good. Obviously, we know what they're capable of doing when Dom's able to run. But look at like defensively, like I was looking at yesterday. They've quite a few. Like if you look at interceptions and bat downs, and just in general, they seem to be flying all over the place on defense. And with this team, we talk a lot about their offense with the good receivers they have. I look at the stats. Chucky's been balling out for these guys. I don't know, Chucky, Charles. I've never actually like called him Charles. So playing really well for them. I know he's a good defender as well, and I like what this team is doing. And I think that if they could have a consistent roster week in and week out, it's the reason I give them a B+.
This team lost 2 of like their arguably best pieces aside their quarterback from the spring to the fall season in Boris and Bress.
So is Boris not on the team? He's just subbing?
Yeah, he's not on the team.
Okay.
I believe he coaches on Saturdays and he could come from time to time, but he's not on the team, and Bress is out of the country. So like those are arguably their best players on offense and on defense for all the past seasons, right?
Yeah.
So this team adjusted pretty well without them, and you know Dom's ball distribution is pretty good, and he just throws to the open receiver.
Yeah.
Even though this past game he only had like 2 of his receivers having catches, I saw the stats. But normally he distributes the ball pretty well. Chuck or Charles is the number 1 option this season.
Yeah.
With 300 yards and 8 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
So I think a B is a good grade for them.
You said I said B plus. You said B?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I said B plus. I talked about big game again for them this weekend. Hopefully they'll have Dom. Well, I wouldn't mind if they don't have Dom because they're playing against us, but...
Are you going to rush Dom?
Maybe.
Oh, boy.
Maybe.
I'll give you the tips off air after.
Tips. Right? Tips. Well, actually, yeah, you can. Actually, I wouldn't mind tips.
Don't jump.
Huh?
Don't jump.
I always jump.
Yeah, but if you jump, it's a 45-yard touchdown for him.
I mean,
even if you don't, there's a chance, but like...
Because I doubt, like, Chris would make a shoestring tackle on Dom.
Shoestring?
Shoestring, yeah. Like,
you got a bench like tie your shoes to tuck?
But you know what a shoestring tackle is? Like, you know in NFL when a guy's running and he just gets his finger and the guy collapses? Shoestring.
Why is it called shoestring?
Because, like, he just touches his shoe, like, and he clumbles forward.
I thought it's because, like, you're calling Dom short, so Chris had to, like, bend to his shoes to be able to make the tackle, because, like, his flags are at that length of where his shoelaces are.
No, that's not what I was saying.
That's what you're saying?
No, that's not what I was saying. That would make sense, but no, it's not what I was saying.
Yeah, good. Have fun rushing him.
Yeah,
it's okay. You'll get your cardio win that day.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's the 8:00 game too. I mean, come on. Like, how do we have 8:00 games, John? That's another thing. We can't have 8:00 games.
It's too late now.
9:30 is already early as is. We should have 9:30, and then we should have a time slot at 5:00.
Some weeks there is a time slot at 5:00. I think. Well,
should have been this week coming up.
Anyway,
is there even point of going to bed on Friday night if I have to get up at like 7?
No.
Not all night, baby.
Think about those shoelaces. Let's go to Centurions.
Good call.
Centurions are 3-2 as well. Losses coming to the Outlaws and to Les Gros Coqs without their quarterback. Their wins are against Bitter Boys, Honor Game, and Henchmen. So they had that big win against you guys.
Yeah.
In a game that like neither team wanted to really win it, eh? Like
yeah, it's true. I think it was 6-0 at the half. Yeah, that was a sloppy first half, but second half that was a good game.
I gotta go with a B for this team as well. Maybe even like a B minus, because like based on the way they ended their last season, I would feel they should have came out more like dominant. Like I know that loss to the Outlaws, they weren't really in the game from beginning to end, and like this team was like one play away against Ninja Turtles making it to the finals, right? Like in the spring season. Yeah, what do you got?
I'm going B. I was going B just because I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. Like you said, they didn't have their starting quarterback this past weekend, obviously, which is a huge loss for them. I think with the Centurions is like, I don't know if you get this feeling, but like we kind of know who they're going to beat and who they're going to lose to. Like I feel like with this team, there's not too much of a surprise. Like I don't see them losing to a team they should beat. I don't see them beating a team they should lose to.
Yeah.
I think like they're the team in like the division that's probably the most predictable. That's like make the playoffs, maybe make the finals. Maybe lose first round. One of the better teams in the division.
It's all maybes if you're saying they're very predictable.
No, but like I'd say like if you ask me right now what's going to happen, I think they'll make the playoffs and lose first round.
Yeah, I'd put my money on that.
Yeah.
Considering probably Outlaws and Trollers are going to be the teams in the finals. If the season ended today, that'd be the prediction.
Oh yeah, the season ended today. Yeah, like, yeah.
Based on our power rankings.
Right. Yeah.
Obviously, there's still 5 more weeks to go when the mid-season.
5 full weeks left. Don't forget it. But yeah, no, I think that's a good for Centurions.
Yeah, clearly Simon Pierre Laferrière, their baller on offense with 24 catches, 324 yards, and 9 touchdowns in 4 games.
Yeah, seriously. What happened to Colette?
Well, Colette's having a very good season as well. 36 to almost 300 yards and 3 touchdowns. I mean, he's still on average for like over 500 yards, like 70 catches season.
Yeah, that's nuts.
I guess just last year he had like maybe double the stats at this point.
He was on steroids last year and then this year.
Yeah, he exploded at the beginning of the season last year, and like he kind of like averaged it out towards the end of the season.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Simon Pierre also their like interception leader on defense.
With 4 picks, 7 passes defended.
Yeah.
Like we forget that too, right? It's not all about interceptions. It's like PDs too. If you're able to kind of get in the receiver's way and knock the ball down, they seem to be doing a lot. These guys are quick. These guys are athletic. Yeah. We know them. They fly everywhere on defense. That's why whenever we play them, we have trouble scoring. And like I said, give these guys a B, and I can see these guys squeezing into the playoffs.
Double check if I missed any team now.
Outlaws, Trollers, go. We're good.
Let's go to D2.
Good stuff. D2, the exciting division.
The division of the MFL. So we're starting with the 5th. Let's start with Outlaws. Outlaws is staying at 3-3.
Yeah.
But they have that 1 point loss against OG Panthers where Dave played quarterback, and another loss against Joey's haters where Dave was also quarterback. Not throw Dave under the bus.
No.
But
he's not dad.
It's more so you're losing your best receiver.
Yeah.
Than you're downgrading a quarterback.
Right. Yeah. Make sure Josh is not listening.
I mean, Josh and Dave. I was saying Josh Dave have like a good 1-2 punch, but now it's
100%.
Yeah, but it's Josh, Dave, and Nico right now as a 1-2-3 punch.
Yeah,
I think Nico's leading this team in receptions, yards, and touchdowns.
How did we forget about Nico? I didn't forget about Nico, but I was thinking of
he's my friend now.
Yeah, he's my boy too. I'll wait.
So yeah, the only loss with because come playoff time, Steve's quarterback every game.
Yeah.
The only loss with Steve at quarterback came against Red Zone.
Yeah.
Who's undefeated right now.
Yeah, high scoring game too.
At the same time, this team should not be 3-3 no matter who's a quarterback.
Yeah.
Right?
Even if Nana G was the quarterback, they should be winning games.
Winning games, yes.
Yes.
Yeah. But Nana G wouldn't have done as good a job as Dave G.
No, but she would definitely run for more yards than Steve.
How many rushing yards does Steve have? So what's your grade for Outlaws?
I'm going to go with a B-. At 3-3, look, you're as good as your record says you are. Is maybe not the best interpretation for this team.
So then could they get their safety then? Their D1 safety since they're only as good as the record is?
Yeah, that's true. Why don't we just get
stuff like that?
What?
You can't say they're only as good as the record is because then it's like season say, well, we're 3-3, give us our safety.
You see, if you let me finish, you'd see I was going to say your record good record says, but not in this case is what I was going to say before you cut me off. 3-3. These guys will be good. These guys will make the playoffs. I think Steve at quarterback, like you said. They have Dave at the receiver position. That trio of receivers is a sick trio of receivers. I think they're going to figure it out. And look, we talked about this team last year, and the fact they don't have safeties, blah, blah, blah. They ended up winning the D2 championship. I can see the same thing happening with these guys again. You
can play no safeties if you're scoring 50 points.
Yeah. You don't have to play defense if you're scoring 50 points, really.
If the other team scores on every drive, they might not get the 50.
Yeah, seriously. Facts. So, yeah, for that reason, I'm giving them the grade I gave them.
The two teams they lost against us, Steve, in the lineup, OG Panthers and Joey's haters, they have a chance to play against both of them before the end of the season. So really have a good measuring stick for this Outlaws team by season's end.
Good call.
Next up, we got OG Panthers.
I'll go that one first.
Let's go.
2-3. I subbed for you guys in the first game of the season. Crazy. Good call. 26.4 points for, 26.4 points against. That's identical. That's pretty cool.
Yes, that same number means identical.
Yeah, exactly. 2-3 record. I guess up and down season for you guys. You guys had good moments. You had some not so good moments. First game of the season against Tenant wasn't really a close game. It wasn't a game that I don't know. It was a game that I thought you guys would put up more points. OG Panthers beating Outlaws. We talked about that one. Good game against Red Zone. Very good game against us. And then this past weekend, winning by forfeit. So, I mean, you're 2-3, technically 1-3. I think you guys are, I would say, the dark horse of D2. But I want to see more consistency out of OG Panthers. That's really what I'd say. I want to see more.
We're having a disappointing season right now.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have expected OG to be a 2-3. At the midpoint season, given the way we ended our season last year.
And really 1-3, right?
Yeah, but we would have beat the Dynasty if they showed up. They were a little scared, that's why they stayed home.
Okay. Well, and they're also playing Iron Wolves that day, so.
Yeah, double trouble, you know?
But, I'll give you guys a C.
I think that's fair. And, we have two big games. Our next two games are against KLB and Outlaws. Actually, we have our next 4 games. KLB, Outlaws, Joey's Haters, KLB.
So you guys missed the playoffs then. That's too bad. What are the standings? Sorry, I'll check that. Let me do something.
Luckily, we have stronger end of seasons than beginning of seasons. Right now, we're sitting in 6th place, which is the last playoff spot.
Okay, good call.
But there's 3 only 1-win teams under us. So, we just gotta, hold that last plot. And, once you get in the playoffs, anything can happen, right?
100%. Once you get to the dance, it's a whole new ball game.
So let's go Letana.
But don't forget, you have teams creeping up behind you guys. Dynasty losing that game by forfeit. And Vultures now with a switch at quarterback.
Yeah, we'll get to that. But next up is Letana.
Yes.
1-3,
that's surprising.
Is it really, though?
Yeah, it's surprising. I know that they moved from D3 to D2. The jump from D3 to D2 is obviously a jump. If you look at their schedule, beat you guys first round, first game of the season. Then after that, they lost to us 26-12. So, then they lost to KLB, was a good team, 20-17, lost to Vultures 37-26. So I mean, you look at it with you consider Big Man playing quarterback and KOLB and us. I'd say those are like three pretty strong teams that they lost to. But look, it's there's only 10 games in the season, right? Like I mean, you can't afford to kind of lose games to kind of find the groove. I understand it's their first time playing in D2, but these guys have talent, right? They have talent with Simon Actil, obviously Phil Ferrand, and they got two big games coming up back to back against Red Zone in week 6, week 7. So we're gonna see what happens there for them. I think for the fact that they're moving up a division, I'll give them a little bit of slack. I think I'll give them a C+.
Yeah, C+, C-. Like I feel they could get Vincent Dion's a great quarterback and he hasn't been playing as great as he is. I feel they could get better quarterback play from him.
Yeah.
Sometimes not making the great he has an arm. He has a hell of an arm. Yeah. And sometimes he's also a good runner. Like he buys time, he could run for that first down. But if he's not making the best decisions, and obviously he's a new quarterback in this league. I don't know if he's quarterback before in flag football. He was not their quarterback last season.
No.
So making that jump in D2, there's obviously an adjustment period.
Yeah.
But definitely has the potential. It's funny enough, Phil Ferrand is leading the team in like almost every statistical category, but he's not dominating as much as it shows. And I think that goes to playing the quarterback play, right?
Yeah, but I think that's kind of good.
Good.
Like in the sense that like you want to make sure you're not relying only on one receiver. Like you want to make sure you spread the wealth there, and when teams are scouting against you, that they're not going to double team your best player all the time.
Yeah.
But I think that the next two games against Red Zone are they're going to have to split them. They're going to have to at least win one of them. I know Red Zone's undefeated. I know it's tough, but I think that if you're 10-0, you're definitely going to want to split one of those next two games against Red Zone. Easier said than done, though, of course.
Yeah. Surprised not playing the same day, when John plays.
Yeah, seriously. We're playing Dynasty back-to-back weeks. They forfeited, and then we're playing them this past weekend.
So next up, Dynasty. I'd want to give them an F solely based on the fact that they forfeited back-to-back weeks, letting John know the day of, like when they had a doubleheader, especially considering everything that went on, and he had to like reschedule 20 games from the rain delay or the field conditions that day was raining.
Yeah.
Like we could have saved like 2 8 o'clock games. Like 2 8 o'clock games, 8 a.m. games in the future could have been placed in those time slots. Or like OG Panthers could play against Iron Wolves.
Yeah.
Had we known in advance, right?
Yeah.
So like that, like forfeits really suck.
Yeah, I know.
We should try to avoid them as much as possible.
Yes.
In all seriousness,
but I mean, like
I'd still give them probably an F or a D-, because like they destroyed Vultures in week 1 when the Vultures was like their first game with their new quarterback. Then they haven't really done anything to impress, right? Yeah. They got destroyed by Red Zone. They got destroyed by Joyce Haters, and the team with half the team was missing. And then they lost 2 games by forfeit. So they really don't have that much of a sample size.
And like you look at
and this is a really good team. Like this is a team that's been in the league for a long time, and they got good players across the board. Maxime Fournier, Sébastien Béchard, their quarterback, Kevin Marion.
Béchard's a monster.
Yes, they're all like monsters. And this team, like when their rosters that you saw in D2 last year, it was a hard team to play against.
Yeah, it was.
Whether you were the top team or the bad team, it was going to be a tough team to play against. And like that's what's very disappointing of them, because they're a really good team. They're a great team to play. They're a great group of guys also.
Yeah.
And it's a little disappointing.
I mean, look at the quarterbacks here. Kevin Marion, 7 touchdowns, 6 interceptions in 2 games played. Obviously, it's not a good touchdown to interception ratio, so they're gonna have to clean that up. And I think you're right. Like, just like to get back at the forfeit, that's like 2 games, right? They missed just this past weekend, but they had a doubleheader, so that's 2 games they lose there. I think factoring into the fact that their only win was against Vultures early on in the season when Ben wasn't quarterback. I'll give these guys a D-. I expected more. I think when I look at these guys play, they have a ton of chemistry. They seem to know, the quarterback knows where where the receivers are going to go. When he's in trouble, they seem to kind of they read each other's minds, and I think it's surprising to see them at 1-3 before 1-2 before the forfeit, and now 1-4 with the 2 forfeits. I expected more for them, and hopefully they're going to show up this weekend to play against us, because I know that they're going to play us tough, and I look forward to playing them.
Let's go to Vultures.
Yes.
Vultures officially made the QB switch. It's going to be Ben McMahon going forward.
Yeah.
And boy, did it pay off in the 37-26 win against L'État. Not only did it pay off at the quarterback position, but Philip Roberts had himself a game being the D2 player of the week, catching 2 touchdown passes, getting 2 interceptions, key touchdowns as well. So this team's going to be dangerous going forward. Like, I feel bad for the teams like OG Panthers haven't played them early in the season.
Yeah.
Because right now it's going to be a tough game against them. I think I'm going to go with like a C- based on the fact, like, you still have to take into account what they did, but I'm also taking into account where I think they'll be now with Ben. Like, I don't think they would have been 1-4 with Ben at quarterback in the beginning, but they wanted to try out their new guy, and their new guy's an athlete. Like, he's a baller.
Yeah.
Philip Roberts.
That's the thing is once you're putting Ben at quarterback, you're adding Phil as a receiver, so exactly. It's like double.
So not an easy matchup coming up against Outlaws, but what do you got for them?
I'm gonna say a C-. I was thinking of going D+. I'm gonna go C-, simply because, like you said, a win this past weekend against a good team like Lieutenant, putting up 37 points. Ben looked really good, doing the usual buying time with his feet. Talked about Phil getting player of the week. These guys are good. And talk about James Drysdale, I believe his last name. Yeah. Quick, he had a sick sack in this game. I believe he also plays snapper for this team.
Fourth down catch in this game as well.
Yeah, no, he's a baller on both sides of the ball. So this team has athletes. So I'm going to go C- with the potential of improving.
Red Zone. It's really hard to get an A+ for me. I don't know if I gave one single one last year, but Red Zone's getting an A+ for me. You kind of couldn't have asked them to do anything better right now. This team missed the playoffs. Surprising.
Yeah.
It's hard to believe that this team missed the playoffs last year in D2, coming down that last game. And they crushed Dynasty. They beat OG Panthers. They beat Outlaws. And they had that crazy fun game against Joyce Haters.
Yes.
That we don't know if they actually played it, but they won. They're playing against Joyce Haters again this upcoming weekend.
Damn.
Rematch right there.
That's going to be a good one.
You guys going to have to wait to see my pick on Thursday in Kevin's article.
Good call. We're not making picks live on the show, folks. It's going to be in the article.
We're already 40 minutes in. And
bro, I have class in an hour. Oh, should we let us speed this up, like, all kidding aside.
What's more important, man? Come on.
Well, obviously MFL.
No one. Yeah, exactly.
But my teacher may be watching this, so like.
So yeah, I got an A+ with Red Zone. Dom being that crazy, it's like crazy player he is this year. 44 catches in 4 games, almost 400 yards, 6 touchdowns. Like
11 catches a game. 11. That's 100. He's on pace for 110 catches.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That in itself could be a record. But I give them an A+ as well. If they don't deserve an A+, then I don't think any team deserves an A+. From what happened, like you said, the season before, not making the playoffs, the expectation this year for them was they'd make the playoffs. So last year was a bit of kind of a down year for them. But I didn't expect them to be undefeated at this point. I had picked Joey's Haters to beat them. Been really impressed with Red Zone, and they deserve like all the credit we could possibly give them. I think like right now, if you get all the MFL, then you like counting the divisions. I think this is the team that really is
pound for pound
the hottest right now. Yeah, definitely.
Iron Wolves, how are you guys 4-1? Would you have expected you guys to be 4-1 making the jump to D2?
Baby, you keep doubting us, baby. Bring on the doubts.
In all seriousness, you guys made the jump.
I didn't think we'd be 4-1 now. No.
Exactly, and I don't like you guys were. Some of you guys
I thought
were
we'd be
arguing
5-0. That's the key. I thought we'd be 5-0.
Some of you guys are arguing you're still a D3 team.
Well, I mean, you got to try and negotiate, right? That's how it works. But no, I think
obviously when your quarterback's a commission, it works a little easy, right?
Yeah, it's easier.
I gotta go with an A for you guys. Like even though you're 4-1 and you had a more of a easier early schedule. Oh no, you have an easy end of schedule too. Oh, man, I wonder who makes your schedule for you. I think.
It's easy because you saw we played you guys, eh?
No, I was saying it's easy because you're the only team that plays 2 current non-playoff teams twice. That's why I said it was easy. Oh. Like I'm basing it on facts.
And we played you guys week 4, so that was a free win. Yeah, okay, I get what you're saying. I mean, Joey's Haters is a good team. We lost them by 6 week 1.
Yeah, and you're only playing them once.
Yeah, that's true.
So, yeah. I still giving you guys, did I say an A or a B?
You said A.
A-. Who's your baller? Will Power. Wow, John really distributes the ball well. He has 4 receivers over 11 catches or more. 3 of them with 4 touchdowns. John 20-3 and TD to interception ratio. That's crazy.
It's 20-3?
20-3, wow. And he ran for 34 yards. Only 2 touchdowns in the season. Holy smokes.
I would not have expected that. That is pretty impressive. But yeah, I'm gonna go A- as well. I didn't.
That's really surprising. You guys only have 2 interceptions on defense.
Really?
Which is low, right?
Yeah.
And you're only giving up 21 points a game against, so that's pretty good.
Sacks?
Yeah, John doesn't get them in D3. He only gets them in D2.
Yeah.
Come on, Johnny.
Our boy Lavoie, John Lavoie. 4th down defense is strong, I guess is what it means. But I'm gonna go with the A-. I can't say like I'm not shocked that we have this record right now. I think maybe we're exceeding expectations. But no, I think that people seem to be sleeping on us. You're included. And I think that I'm happy that we're 4-1 right now. And I look forward to the game against Dynasty that was supposed to happen last week.
Mark my word. You want to make a bet?
Yeah. I mean, it depends. If you say like the Dolphins are gonna not make the playoffs, then no.
Arnold's losing the first round of the playoffs.
What if we don't make the playoffs? We will make the playoffs.
If you don't make the playoffs, I win the bet.
No, because you see we lose first round of the playoffs.
Arnold's not making the second round of the playoffs.
Yeah, of course I'll bet.
In this division, at the same time, no, that doesn't make sense because
you're backing out now, eh?
No, because you guys with the cupcake schedule you have, you can get a first round bye. Only 6 teams make the playoffs, tough to get a bye.
My hands up to shake it if you want.
Arnold's not win a playoff game.
No, you didn't say that. But okay,
Arnold's not win a playoff game. The usual?
What?
The usual?
Yeah. By the way, you still owe me. You still owe me the.
No, I paid with the champion.
You owe me.
Coffee and ice cream.
Yes. Good call.
Okay, I owe you a coffee and ice cream.
Yes. Okay, so you're saying Arnold's win 0 playoff games. I'm saying we win at least 1.
Yes. So if Arnold's don't make the playoffs, that's like winning 0 playoff games.
Correct.
Okay. That was easy.
Let's go, John. You got this. Hear what he said.
So I'm looking at this division. Like whoever makes the playoffs is going to be a stacked team. So like, yeah, Arnold's not winning a playoff game.
So you said last year.
No, last year I never said that.
Oh, you said we wouldn't win the
I said you wouldn't
championship.
win the championship, but I saw you guys winning a playoff game.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. You know, last year too, you had the first round bye. Like we know who's making your schedules, right?
Yeah, it's true. It's all the commish.
KLB 3-2 with half KLB roster, half free agent
so
roster.
who's on this team?
Half KLB, half free agents, and hasn't been looking to face them. Their only 2 losses are against the Outlaws.
Oh wow. Okay.
And their wins come against Joyce Haters, Les Tannantes, and Vultures. Surprisingly, they destroyed Joyce Haters in that game.
Yeah, that was surprising.
Probably Max's only dud of the season.
Yeah.
I gotta go with a B+ for this team. I wasn't expecting to be this good considering the roster they're bringing in from last year. They had like a ton of injuries.
Yeah.
And all that. The Kirano Johnson, this new player they got, has been balling out for them.
259 yards, 3 touchdowns.
Last year we know Jeremy Riendo Desmers was clearly their top guy, and now like I said before, like if he's like their second guy now statistically, and you got another guy that's creates mismatches all across the board.
Embarrassment of riches for sure. I'm gonna go with a B. I think that 3-2 is a fairly decent record. I think 4-1 would have been better. I like these guys. I've been high on KLB since they crushed Honor Game back last season when I was playing for them. I really like Plout as the quarterback for these guys. These guys are just athletes. They're ballers. No matter who's playing for this team, they're flag football players, and they just seem to be guys that love the sport. They play with emotion. So I'm gonna go with a B. And similarly to last year, like I said about them, I can see these guys running the table and upsetting a few teams in the playoffs.
Yeah, just one thing I want to touch on. Plout is a hell of a quarterback.
Yes,
he's not a flag. He's a quarterback. Like.
Yeah, you're right. Not just a flag quarterback, like a quarterback.
Joyce Haters.
Is that a mistake? They have 24 points for and 43 against?
Yeah, it's probably a bug. It's obviously a mistake. When you look at the standings, they have more points for than points against.
Okay.
So let John know.
Yeah, Johnny made a mistake. Joyce Haters.
Joyce Haters lost against KLB in Red Zone. They beat Outlaws, they beat Dynasty, they beat Iron Wolves. That was a crazy week 1 game.
Yeah.
I feel I'm going to go with a B+ for them as well. Maybe even a B. Like, they've been playing better than their record is. Like, they had that big win against Outlaws, but they had those 2 losses against KLB and Red Zone. I think they should be at least 4-1. This team could have even been 5-0. Like, if you're looking at the way Max is playing with the Holy Trollers, like, yes, he's playing amazing with Joyce Haters as well, but I feel he's dominating more in D1 than in D2.
Yeah, that's
fair. Has the more stacked roster.
Yeah.
But, Joyce Haters this year is going to be a tough team to play against.
Agreed. I'm going to go with B-. And maybe it's not as good a grade as you think. The loss to KOLB, like I said, 42-14 is a little bit surprising for me. Obviously, being the Outlaws, no matter who's at quarterback for them.
It's Alabama and you can close your eyes on that loss.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good point. I like the way they played Red Zone this week. Would have been big for them to win the game. You know, they win that game, they're 4-1. Red Zone also has 1 loss, then they're closer in the standings. But it's going to be a good rematch this weekend. I really like the way that... the way Max distributes the ball. You got 38 catches to the other Max. You got 31 to Jeremy Rooney, who's playing on this team for the first time. You got obviously Sean Haney.
You want to read all the stats or you want to go to class?
So you got 7 touchdowns, Max Sidori, 8 touchdowns, Rooney, 4 for Haney. I like what Max is doing. He has the recipes for success, and I think these guys are going to do good.
Did you forget a D2 team?
No.
Okay.
If we did, well...
If we did, we'll write up something cute for you guys.
Yeah, good call.
D3 now. Let's start with Jagger Bombs.
Okay.
Just based on their record, they're sitting at 3-2. They get a C from me. This team should be undefeated. This is clearly like undefeated or like a 4-1 coming off a tight loss to Average Joe's. I think those are clearly the top three teams with raw sauce in the division. They lost by 13 to Average Joe's. They lost in OT to Mustard Tigers week 1. And even in their wins, like, yes, obviously Petit Fuck and Iron Wolves, they seemed impressive, but like even their win against Panache was closer than what I would have expected. This team has too much experience and talent to be sitting at 3-2 in Division 3 right now.
I agree with you totally.
With Simone Duchesne at quarterback, like...
Yeah. I'm going to go with C+. I think that when you look at like certain things about this team that stick out to you, again, it's top 2 receivers, 26 catches, 25 catches. You got Maxime Marsan, 26 catches, 310 yards. Obviously, he's impressive. But I expected a little bit more in terms of like win production and total points. And then we talk about Simon Duchesne and the fact that he's a great quarterback and he has flag experience. But I think it's just a matter of time before this team goes up. Like, I can't see these guys losing another 2 games. I think they're going to finish the season. They're 3-2 now. I can see them going 7-3. And I honestly, I don't see them losing more than 3 games total this season. I'm gonna go with C+, but I do think that they're gonna have a better second half of the season.
Mustard Tigers sitting at 2-2. OT win loss. OT win loss. 21 points for, 23 points against. Like, this is very like when you talk about a 500 team. This is it.
As 500 gets.
Yeah. I'm gonna like last year they had a very disappointing beginning of the season, starting off 0-5, winning that 5-0 run at the end of the season. I'm going to go with like a C+, B- for them because they did pull off that win against Jagerbomb and Flamingos, who are tough teams to play against. And they lost by 1 possession against Average Joe's, picking off Jason Armanti 4 times in that game. I think I'm going to go with a B-. Thomas clearly their main guy and G balling out as well. David Brisson leading this team in interceptions. I'm not even, like, we're not surprised anymore at this point.
No, definitely not. There was a play I saw this weekend. Oh, shoot. No, he was quarterback. Never mind. I wanted to say that. It's all good. He threw, like I may as well mention now, he threw a really nice wheel route in Sneaky Sneaks game.
Okay.
Yeah. Because it wasn't Mustard Tigers, but I remember it was David Brisson made a nice play. But I'm going to give that a B+.
Okay.
I'm impressed. I think that crazy thing about how close their games have been. But look at the teams they beat, Terry. They beat my famous and lovable Flamboyant Flamingos. They beat Jagerbomb. They lost to Blackout by 5, who's a really good team. They lost to Average Joe's by 5, who's a really good team. I don't think I expected these guys to be 2-2 so far, and their schedule seems to get easier with the Chiefs and Petit Fuck coming up next. I'll give these guys a B+.
Next up, Thunder Buddies.
You go first, your captain.
Obviously, we made the jump from D4 to D3, but we kind of improved the roster. I think it's a disappointing season so far, having started the season at 0-3 and currently being at 2-3, especially that our last 2 wins came on the last play of the game.
Yeah.
We could have very, very, very easily been 0-5.
Yeah.
Like, very, very easily.
Yeah.
And our first 3 losses, weren't very close either.
No, they weren't.
We lost by 2 or 3 possessions in each of those games, if not more.
Yeah.
Our defense has gotten a little better in the last 2 games.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're averaging like over 40, maybe even 50 points against in the first 3, and I don't know what's going on with that.
Mm-hmm.
Averaging 30 points for a game, I think that's a positive.
Yeah.
It's a league where you got to score points. It's a very fun group of guys. Like I love
even
though
team.
We started at 0-3.
Yeah.
It wasn't like an 0-3 that like, oh, you're grumpy, it sucks. Like I don't want to like. It was still happy land. It was still like we're excited to play. We got this and everything.
Yeah.
And it kind of helps a lot. Like everyone's a great teammate and a great player on that team.
For sure, 100%.
But I can't give us anything higher than a C. I'd even say C-. D+ even.
I was saying C, and then I switched to C- last second. I think you said it's good that none of us implode on each other. We're all like, we played each other before. We hang out off the field, which is like, which is definitely a plus. I think you said it well. Like our last 2 games, obviously a win's a win. They came like in fashion where we needed literally the last play of the game to win it. I think that we thought we'd be better at this point of the team. You look at the roster, you look at the experience we have.
Everyone was saying we were too strong. We started 0-3.
Yeah, no, exactly. I think partly due to expectations, I'm going to have to say C-. Good that we're finally seem to be hitting stride now. But no, I think so far we've underachieved this season.
Yeah, that's where we're putting it. Iron Wolves, they're sitting at 2-3. Their wins came against Chiefs and Petit Fuck, who are currently non-playoff teams. They lost to Panache, Jagerbomb, and to us.
Mm-hmm.
Just based on the fact that they have reigning D3 quarterback of the year, John D1 perfect game John.
Yeah.
And Marvin, who's won, I think, of like 8 medals in the last 2 seasons as individual awards.
Yeah.
This team should have a way better record than this.
Oh, yeah, for
like,
sure.
I'd say they're underachieving as much as Thunder Buddies are. Cause like,
similar, yeah.
Yes, I understand that maybe their roster from top to bottom isn't as strong, but their top-end talent is way stronger. Like, John and Marvin duo, you'd be hard-pressed to find a better one in the league.
Yeah.
Like, we got Max and Phil Farran, Steven Smuda, but like, besides that, it's probably the third best one you got, right?
Yeah. That's kind of and the connection seems to be growing because they haven't played with each other ever, and they're still putting up numbers together.
Yeah,
and like John
also got Iggy, Brian on that team. They just added Mace.
Right,
like,
solid pickup. Yeah, look at that. That's crazy. Look at Iggy. Marvin has 19 catches. Iggy has 17 catches in 2 less games.
Yeah.
So think that, like, imagine if you worrying about covering Marvin and covering Iggy, and then you got to worry about Mais now that they added, and the other guys that they have on this team. Kat did a fairly good job containing you, and she's a fairly good rusher there.
Oh, Kat's a very good rusher.
Yeah, and I think that she's only getting better there, so I'd say good stuff on that. I'm going to give you guys a C.
Our boys, the Flamingos, man, I gotta go with the D for them. They're sitting at 1-3. Their only win came against Pittsburgh in week 1. They got losses to Blackout, Mustard Tigers, Raw Sauce. This team last year going undefeated in D4 in the season. We kept praising them and saying this team could be a 500 team in D3, right?
Yeah.
And they have a stacked roster. Mm-hmm. I don't know if they maybe had too many chalets early in the season and their players have been missing games. But clearly, it's been disappointing for them so far.
Yeah, it has been. I'm going to go D+. D+, yeah. Beating Petit Fuck 32-0 obviously is very impressive. Although Petit Fuck has been inconsistent all year round. Struggling to put up points, scoring 12 points and scoring 19, then scoring 12. Scoring 2-3 and then 2 touchdown a game is not going to cut it. Obviously, it is a big jump. I was talking to Chris after the game, and he was saying it's just a lot of things that they have to kind of like work on and adjust to from playing D4 to D3. Like we've seen the jump from Thunder Buddies, right, playing in a better division. I did expect a little bit more from these guys. Big game this weekend for them against Panache. I think it's probably a game they're favored to lose, but I think it's going to be a close game throughout. Look, this team is solid.
Favorite to lose?
Yeah, favorite to lose. Yeah,
They'd be the favorite to lose.
Like they're favored to lose. Like they chances are they're underdogs.
Yeah, that's what you meant. It's just funny place of words.
Can you say that? I think you say
it's kind of like an oxymoron, no?
Yeah, that's like saying a tough wimp.
Yeah.
But anyways, I thought these guys would be better. I think these guys will bounce back. And yeah, I look for that to be a close game against Panache, but I thought they'd be better with the squad they have. Still love them though.
Chiefs sitting at 0-5, but you know how I think I picked them to beat Panache this past weekend, and like they came up big against Average Joe's and they've been playing better every single week. Yeah, we can't see their. Yeah, I think John, there's a bug with the points for and points against because Chiefs currently have 0.
Pretty good defense, so giving them 0 per game.
They got like outmatched by Les Panache, but then they came up and Ross also arguably one of the best teams in D3 who are undefeated right now.
Yes.
They score 31 points against them and lose 40-31. So like it's really been an up and down team. They clearly, even though they're 0-5, exceeded my expectations. So I'm going with a C+ for them because they're still 0-5. They still got no win. You still gotta get your first dub. And yeah. What do you got?
They remind me of the Detroit Lions in the sense that like
so close.
Yeah, like very very close, like almost getting that first win and then just unable to get it. I ref their game this weekend against Panache. That wasn't a very close game, but their game against Average Joe's a few weeks before was close. Their game against Ross Sauce this weekend was close. This is a really fun group of guys, really really chill dudes, and I love the energy they play with. They're similar, I say, to Average Joe's, kind of bringing that funk. And they love flag, and they want to know more. They ask referees for tips and stuff like that. I'm gonna have to go with D+, and I know that I'm not gonna give them an F because it's a fairly new team and D3 is difficult. So I didn't expect them to be necessarily undefeated at this point, but I expected them to have a win at this point.
You didn't expect them to be undefeated when they're 1-5, eh?
100%, touche. But I did expect a little bit more from these guys. That you look at these guys, they have some D1 players. I think that they have athletic players on the team, and they have guys that know flag football and that really like the game. So I expect these guys to eventually pick up that first win, but until then, it's a grade of D+. But we're rooting for you guys.
Les Petits Fuck. You give them an F?
Yeah.
Sitting at 0-6 right now. I think I gotta go with an F as well because this team has too much flag experience to not have found someone or someone step up to be a quarterback.
Right,
Like,
exactly.
Like, you've played quarterback a couple of games, season of quarterback and stuff like that. Like, I start off a quarterback. Yes, it's very, very, very hard.
Yeah.
But you got to just, one guy step up and stick to it. Had they done this week 1 and have the same guy throughout the 6 weeks, I'm pretty sure they would have had a win by now. Like, obviously getting a different new quarterback every week is not helping them. And besides that, like, this exact same roster, almost, with, like, Dom was like a D2 championship team.
Yeah.
And now they're like not even a D3 playoff team. The drop off is way too big considering the talent they have on this roster. Everyone on this team is good.
Yeah.
Like they don't have a bad player on this team.
Have they had a different quarterback every single game?
No, I think that's maybe
been
the same
close
twice.
to it though, eh? Is John quarterback just once for them, I think, eh?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I have to go with an F. And I know that they played us tight. And remember, we need the last play of the game to win that one.
Yeah.
But with the talent they have, like, I think that, you know, anyone should be able to quarterback and
even in divisions where a team's clearly a bad team, like, they're not a bad team, but even in divisions where there's clearly a bad team, they still manage to get 1 win on the season.
Right, exactly.
Like,
yeah.
Airborne's finished 1-9 last year.
Yeah. I hope you're not watching Guillaume.
My bad, Guillaume. I'm only taking shots like this because when Thunder Boys were 1-3, it's like, don't worry, we started 1.
Glass half full. Glass half full.
I mean, it's like 1/10 full.
Yeah, true. It's still full.
Who we got next?
The average Joes.
Oh my god. A, not A plus.
A plus.
A because Jason has 16 interceptions in 6 games. If he doesn't clean that up, it might come back and bite them in the playoffs.
Terry, it's an A plus. As much as it pains me to say it, it doesn't pain me to say it. I got you there. So you're too close, eh? Too slow there, sunshine. But no, they've been they're undefeated. It definitely doesn't pain me to say it. These guys are great guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-0. They've been able to win games that were close and games that were blowouts. And I think that oftentimes I say that if you're blowing out teams left and right, you want to see what happens when you play in a close game and when the times get tough and when the quarterback has to make a decision late in the fourth quarter when the game is close. They've shown that. They won this past game by 5. Other games in the season, I mean, against us, they won by 13, but it was still a fairly close game for the most part. The Chiefs, they won by 9 in that game. Jason has thrown too many exceptions, but he has been clutch, and I love this defense. I love this defense with I know you're going to say something, with Jason Edwards. I believe he's like a top 2 in the league in interceptions. And yeah, they got ballers. Nick Igley having a ton of yards. I'm completely butchering this name, but Jeffrey Vigneault. I ref one of his games. Has a circus catch every single week. Then you got Ryan Fudd with 7 touchdowns. Didn't even talk about Colin Legault with the 5 TDs. We're in the Dolphins jersey. Well, Carlos is a given. You got Carlos. Your team is automatically winning the championship. These guys get an A plus, Terry. Okay,
we're not in 1985, and this ain't the Browns. Like, their defense could just carry them for so much. Like, Jason's been playing good, but the flag football is all about offense.
It is.
Okay, like come playoff time, and Jason said it too many times this season. Like, I love Jason; he's a great quarterback, but he's the first to admit that his defense has won him games that he did not deserve to win this season. Right?
Yeah,
that won't happen towards a championship. He's gonna have to clean up his game.
Yeah,
I'm only saying this. I like him, and like he got to cut down those interceptions. He doesn't need to throw that much. Like, this team is averaging 17 points against the game. Jason scores 4 touchdowns. That's a win.
But does that mean that he plays more conservatively now and he like goes for 5-yard passes instead of going deep?
No, I think he has a better deep ball than a short ball.
Okay, so what do you suggest he does? Because I give them an A plus because
I'm giving them an A. I'm not giving them an F.
No, I know. No, you're right. That is true.
I'm giving them an F because
you're giving them an F.
I mean, so I'm giving them an A. I'm not giving them an F. I'm giving them an A and not an A plus based on there's one thing I could point at that's been negative, and to me, it's an important thing. It's not as if like, he got sacked too many times. Then
I agree with you.
It'd still be an A plus. He's throwing a little too many interceptions for a top team in this league. That's a little too much.
I agree with you. I think it's impressive that they have been able to win with him throwing 16 interceptions.
When your quarterback throws 4 picks in a game, you're supposed to lose that game.
100%. You're supposed to lose by 3 before possessions.
Yes.
Never mind winning. But no, totally agree. I think the typical average Joe game happened this past weekend against Mustard Tigers, where, like you said, the defense bailed them out. But Jason has looked good in a few games, and he has the wide receivers and defenders to lead this team to a potential championship.
Rossas, 5-0. I gotta go with an A. I gotta go with an A just because they have not yet played Average and Jagerbomb, which are the next 2 games. So they haven't. They've won convincingly. But they haven't played like the top of the top D3. Mm-hmm. They played good teams. Yeah. I'm not saying they had like an easy schedule so far, but they hadn't played in my opinion, 2 of the other top 3 teams in this division. So we'll have a better measuring stick for raw sauce after the next 2 weeks. But yeah.
I'm going to go with an A as well. I think that based on their schedule, obviously you can only play who's in your schedule. They've beaten teams. They're undefeated. They haven't had the toughest schedule necessarily, but I mean they've won games fairly convincingly, Terry. Like if you look at schedule, I mean first game they won by 3, then they won by 12. They beat us by 18. They won by 1. They won by 9. So I guess those games are still fairly tight.
Yeah, not very convincingly.
Yeah. No, now that I think about it, but if you exclude the
now that you look at facts before talking.
Well, look, I mean if you exclude the first game, the games were very convincing. But any team that's able to beat Flamboyant Flamingos gets a good grade from me. I'll give these guys an A, but I look forward to the next games, like you said, against Average Joes.
Ludovic's ball distribution has been like almost second to 5 receivers
really.
over 100 yards.
Yeah.
Even though they got Yvan Desjardins, who's clearly like a baller on that roster.
Yeah.
Like it's still distributing the ball well to many other players.
Yes.
On defense, you have so many guys making big plays. I think that leader is clearly Antoine Theroux, the rusher, who has 14 sacks in 5 games, picking up right where he left off.
Like a bullet.
Yeah.
I think there was a few sacks I missed in the game I ref too. I'm pretty sure he shut up maybe 1 or 2 more.
Why didn't you call them?
Well, hindsight's 2020, man. What am I tell you? It's like saying, why did you steal the candy from the depiner when you were 5?
So you're admitting you're not a great ref.
No, I admitted I made some mistakes. I'm not perfect. I'm a very good ref, but I'm just not perfect.
Man, it's D3, man. You can only go 1 division lower.
Bro, you're a quarterback at D3. Don't disrespect it.
No, I'm saying as a ref, like the game gets just faster and faster once you go up.
Bro, John, trust me, man. When John and I are like this, we're okay.
Les Panaches, 3-1. Their only loss coming against Jagerbomb. They had pretty convincing wins in their first 2 weeks against Iron Nose Thunder Buddies. Then they beat the Chiefs convincingly as well. I got to go with like an A- for them.
I was going to say the exact same thing.
Yeah, obviously you copy me.
I'm going to say A-. There's definitely no fault in losing to Jagerbomb. Jagerbomb's a good team. I reffed their game this past weekend against the Chiefs, and they look good on both sides of the ball. They put up 24 points. I felt like they scored more in this game, but these guys are good. Like honestly, the offensive side of the ball, defensive side of the ball, they got speedsters, they got guys with good hands, they got great playmakers, and really, just you put this team together, and it's a successful team. And we talked about quarterback Felix is getting better, and buying time with his legs, and he's doing that week in, week out.
Last but not least, Blackout, led by Omar Jackson, and even having Kwesi sub in a couple of games for them.
Yes.
A little bit of a quarterback carousel for them. They're sitting at 3-2. It's really hard to know what to expect from them because you don't know who's going to be in the lineup, right? Like they beat Flamingos, they lost to Raw Sauce, they beat Mustard Tigers, lost to Average Joes, beat Chiefs. It's really hard to evaluate this team for me. I'm going to go with a B. Because at the end of the day, they're sitting at 3-2, and they have some good wins on the resume, but I feel they're very top heavy. Like you're looking at their team, and only like 2 or 3 guys have touchdowns on this team.
Yeah.
So like it's a very mixed team of different players, and like I don't know if it's they got a big larger roster, not everyone just shows up, or they're looking for subs every week. But like this team could be a dangerous team to play against, or it could be like a cupcake game when like no one shows up. So
it depends. I'm gonna go with a C+, but mainly the lower grade because of how good this team is. They're stacked. This team is stacked. They could be 5-0. They should be 5-0.
Kwesi and Omar are D1 players.
Right, that's what I mean exactly, and like would be top D1 players. And there's other guys that we don't know about yet that we're gonna know about. We've seen that they can ball. These guys are good. 3-2 is not really what I expected at this point. Although it's a transition for them. I don't think they have. Is Kwesi quarterbacking the team?
He's quarterbacked some games.
Yeah, exactly. And we know he can quarterback, but obviously he's a much better receiver, defender. And when he's quarterbacking, you're missing him as a receiver, so that doesn't help. But I think these guys will be better, so I'm giving C+.
Can we do every team in D3?
Probably.
D4 now.
Oh, we gotta do Brossard too, eh?
We'll do that rapid fire.
Okay.
We only got 2 minutes for them anyway.
2 full minutes?
I mean, it is the mid-season report cards.
Yeah, okay.
So D4, starting off with Phoenix, sitting at 3-2. I'd say they're right where I thought they'd be, making the jump in this like revamped D4. They're sitting at 3-2. That OT win against Drama Club was a little disappointing, but then they pulled off very convincing wins against Mimosa Crew and Gold Rush. Losing to Spin Doctors in Idaho, a little disappointing. That they should have won one of those 2 games, especially the past weekend. I think they were tied or up at halftime against Idaho, and losing on converts. Like Kevin, you got to be more clutch on converts. You've been playing in this league for far too long to not score any converts. You always write it in your articles how important converts are, so that's a little knock on you. I was going to say his receiver slipped and fell, dropped the ball.
Yeah, exactly. He had sun in his eye.
I'm going to go with... you go first.
I'm going to go with a B-.
I'll go with C plus then. So I think even B minus and C plus.
Yeah, I'm
so
going
it's
B
a good
minus.
average.
Yeah.
I think that's very fair.
They've been good, a little inconsistent.
They got the nice jerseys.
I forget what the jerseys look like.
It's like the green jersey with the Phoenix and the Fire Flames.
Oh yeah, that is cool. Yeah, they are nice jerseys. Kind of like Christmas, eh? So like red and green. But yeah, I'll give these guys a B minus. I want to see more consistency out of them, but they have the talent to win it all.
So now we got Manitoba boys sitting at 3-2, pulling off back-to-back huge wins, scoring 47 and 52 in their last 2 games. A little slow start. I don't think they had the roster all put together there, and then losing to Sneaky Snakes and Bin, who are both undefeated.
Right.
So I think I'm going with a B plus for them.
I'm going A minus. And I know 3-2 is tough. Like we didn't. Most of these guys are fairly new to.
I caught a glimpse of their game against Spin Doctors last week, and their quarterback throws such a nice ball.
Okay.
Like he's like a real quarterback.
Oh damn! I wonder if that game. Well, wow! Look at those stats: 20 touchdowns to 6 picks in 5 games.
Yeah, he's a real quarterback.
Numbers
It's
don't
not
lie.
a D4 guy just
No.
gets thrown into the mix, right?
Yeah, numbers never lie. Even though they're 3-2, I'm gonna go A minus. Those wins are very impressive, and the 2 losses are games like most teams would lose.
Marco Gavita leading this team on offense, the current week player of the week in D4, 19 catches, almost 400 yards and 7 touchdowns in 5 games.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like look at interceptions. You got 2 guys with 4 picks and another guy with 3 picks. It's impressive.
Yep. Great team, and some might say they might be too strong for D4. Mimosa Crew.
Love those jerseys.
Sitting at 1-4, their only win came aided by D1, maybe hopeful quarterback of the year, Max Rosenfeld, subbing in for them, beating the Gold Rush, who had it hard this past week. Besides that, you can't say that there are any other games were really... the week before against Spin Doctors was a fairly close one.
Yeah, that's true.
And Spin Doctors were missing a lot of players.
Okay.
I got to go with a D for them.
Yeah, I'm going to go D+. Plus.
Because of the jerseys? The plus is because of the jerseys?
Yeah. But they have a good team. And they... maybe one thing is just need to be a little bit more organized from what I can see.
Trauma Club. They're sitting at 1-4.
Mm-hmm.
They had that big win against Gold Rush, 45-6.
Yeah, that was...
But then they scored 6 points the week after.
Yeah.
Gotta go with a D plus for them. There's too much experience on this team for them to be 1-4. Yes, they have a lot of new players, but they're also led by Nicolas Potvin and Simon Valiquette, who have been playing in this year for so many years and in higher divisions.
Yeah.
That they should come up with simple plays on offense, call a simple defense, and they're both great two-way players, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Nicolas, first year, I believe, playing quarterback, not doing a bad job, but he's still there on defense, and he's a great defender, leading the team in tackles, just how he leads every team in tackles.
Yeah.
Him and Simon combining for 6 interceptions. So yeah, I gotta go with a D plus.
I'm gonna go with a D. Really, you said all the reasons why. I think this team has too much experience, and even though Nico is playing quarterback and not playing receiver, he knows flag and he's a baller. So I expect a little bit more from these guys.
Airborne, you go first. They're at 1-4.
Airborne or Gold Rush?
Gold Rush.
Gold
Rush at 1-4. Airborne is winless.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with D. I was going to go
with a D. This team finished, I think, second in the standings, or at least second for a very, very long time. The word you just used, unorganized. I'd say they got to be more organized, right?
Okay.
And the same thing, like they're giving up a lot of points. They're not scoring many. Travis is like a MVP player. He's won MVP in this league before. Mm-hmm. Obviously, he's more of a athlete than an actual quarterback, but he's doing everything he can. But he has enough knowledge right now to get this team together and win more games.
Yeah, me too. I think that with his ability to run the football and I know his playmaking ability, I did think that these guys would be a little bit better, a little bit surprising. And the only win came against Airborne in overtime. So
yeah. So Airborne now, what do you got for them? 0-5, averaging 19 points a game, giving up 33. Besides that OT win, they had a close game against Bin, which is a little impressive since they only lost by 9. That's pretty much it. They got blown out in every other game.
I'm going F.
I gotta go F as well too. Yeah. Like this team is kudos to them. They're there to have fun.
Yeah,
they're not there to win.
I think they would like to win.
I don't think they care based on what Guillaume told us.
Yeah, that's true. Do they get a win this season?
Yeah. It's really hard to go 1-10. It's really they managed to do it last season. They're gonna do it again this season.
To get a win, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they get a win too. Until then, I gotta say enough.
Les Bin.
Beans.
Brand new team in the league, going 5-0 and pretty convincingly in every single game. This team's been on a tear.
Yeah, really.
Led by their quarterback, Simon Baudouin, 15 to 2 touchdown to interception ratio.
To only throw 2 picks through 5 games in D4 is really impressive, for real.
Yeah, 100%. Thomas Côté-Parent leading this team. In 3 games, he has 20 catches over 200 yards and averaging 2 touchdowns a game.
Damn.
And a convert a game, just for good measure.
Wow.
This team's doing good. I think A+.
A+, yeah. I'm gonna ask John to ref these guys. I don't think I've ever.
You're lucky if John schedules you on a game. Don't start pushing your luck. Like, beggars can't be choosers now.
Wow, look who's talking. Next, yeah, Ben A+. Next up.
Look who's talking. When do I choose what?
Sneaky Snakes up next. I'm gonna give Sneaky Snakes an A+. It's
I also got 6 and A+. Yeah. Like, even if I have something negative to point out, they far and beyond exceeded my expectations.
At this point, it's a well-oiled machine. Like, I think like they were kind of like, okay, like last year was, and like this year they came and said, boom, boom. It's like, you do this. Everybody knows what their job. I'm doing this. Okay, this is the red zone we're calling. This play, boom, boom.
Yeah, it all started after that week they beat Thunder Buddies. Last season?
Oh, last season. Yeah.
David Brisson, 21 touchdowns, 6 interceptions.
Impressive.
Seriously.
I mean, what else can you see besides
Mario
A+?
Lou leading the team in touchdowns with 7 touchdowns in just 5 games. Also leading them in receptions and yards.
Wow.
Safe to say that her and Dave Brisson have that connection.
Yep.
She's also leading the team in tackles, sacks. Imagine leading the team in science statistical categories, yeah.
And 5 interceptions in 4 games and 6 PDs.
Yeah, this is a great team.
It's got to be an A+.
Yeah. Idaho Ute Pimps.
Wow.
3-2, another new team in this league.
Yeah.
Only loss came against the 2 undefeated teams. Very impressive wins. Besides that, I got to go with a B+.
I'm gonna go with A-. Sitting there at 3-2. I think you said it perfectly. They played the Bins close, and who I think is the best team in the division, only losing by 6. Other than that, beating Phoenix was a good team, beating most of the crew fairly easily, and putting up 45 points against Airborne. I like where this team is headed.
Carl Daniels leading this team in receptions, yards, and touchdowns. 33, 313, and 5.
Wow.
Their quarterback Justin 9 touchdowns, 1 interception.
Wow.
Yeah. I got to take notes from these D4 players.
Yeah,
like,
seriously.
I was a little hating on Jason, but just because I think so highly of him. But like, my interceptions are way up as well.
That is true.
Who do we got next? Spin Doctor sitting at 3-2.
Last but not least, Spin Doctors, yeah.
What grade do we give to Phoenix? I think you gave a B-,
Yeah.
C+. I think they're having a similar type season to Phoenix. These teams, like, anywhere Phoenix goes, Spin Doctors go. Anywhere Spin Doctors go, Phoenix go. They're like so tired of the hip and anything we talk about.
Yeah.
Kevin and Raph. So they lost to Bin and they lost to Manito Boys, and then they had 3 straight wins in between.
What's happening with Raf?
He was there this past weekend?
Oh, he was?
Yes.
Okay. I thought he wasn't playing or something.
I mean, I saw him there.
Okay. Wait, you're positive or no?
Yes.
Okay.
He was there in that 52-18 loss to Manito Boys. Rob White balling out for this team.
Yeah.
Bringing in that veteran leadership and experience. Leading the team with 8 touchdowns in 4 games. Almost 300 yards. Perhaps having a fairly decent season too.
Mm-hmm.
Last year we were saying how this team was like didn't know anything, didn't even know what like a football was. He thought they were signing up for soccer or whatever. But like now this team it's a great team. Obviously they made the jump from Division 5 to 4, given that there's no Division 5, and like they've boarded fairly well. I think I'm gonna go with I gotta give them I gave Phoenix a C-. I gotta give them a B+ just on base. A B-. I gave Phoenix a C+, and I was hating them with a C+, B-. I gotta give Spin Doctors a B- because they beat Phoenix.
I'm going to go C+ as well. I think that's the fair analysis.
So you're giving a higher grade to Phoenix? You give a B- to Phoenix.
I expected more to Spin Doctors.
Really?
Yeah, I did. Defending champions. I know Raph has missed games, but like I talked about, when you got like ballers on the team like they do, 3-2 is still a good record. I still see these guys doing really well. They have been impressive, but I'm going to go with C+.
Did we do every team D4?
Probably. Yeah, no, we did.
Are you sure?
Well, pretty.
Like, it wasn't that bad when we forgot to do nice TDs, but like forgetting to
funny.
do like a new team in the league, that sucked a little bit.
Yeah, no, we're good.
Rapid fire.
Yes.
One line.
Okay.
Buccaneers.
New team. They seem fairly athletic. Give me a B+.
I got B- for them.
Okay.
Outlaws.
D-.
I got a D for them. Losing your star quarterback. You don't go from undefeated season to 2 wins on that year.
They don't have C, but they still have great talent.
Yeah. Cyclones.
F.
They can't be an F if they still have a chance to make the playoffs.
F.
I'm giving them a D-. but I think we both agree that having the best quarterback and the best receiver in all divisions of MFL, you could have anyone else on your team, and you should still be a playoff team.
Agreed, 100%.
Bread and circuses.
A+++, and the Dolphins fans.
A for me. At the beginning of the season, they were expected to be one of the top teams this year.
Yeah.
I give them an A.
I mean, they've been like beating teams.
Yeah, but they also lost a game.
Yeah, I mean, they've been very impressive.
Jackrabbits.
A.
A-. There's some games that they won very close, and that they maybe did not deserve to win. They still got the win.
Yeah. Daik's subbing for them now that David is injured, right?
Oh yeah, that's fair.
What?
Is that fair?
Yeah, they're both very good players.
Invaders.
That's us. You go. You're captain. You go first.
I gotta give us, I'd say, a B-.
Exactly what I was gonna say.
B- fair, right?
Yeah.
Sitting at 4-4, we got 4 wins, 4 losses. Brand new team like us. I'm quarterbacking this team. Like I don't have the experience Steve has at quarterback, and obviously and thankfully I have you on the team. Small Valley kid, a couple of familiar faces, but like some unsung heroes like Matt's here on that team have been doing great.
Yeah, definitely. Good players on the team. Players have a lot of potential. Should be a fun year.
28-3. I think it's the first time they're getting higher than a D. I'm gonna give them a C.
I'm giving them a C+.
They're sitting at 3 and 5, but with John at quarterback, it's like this team. We always said they were so talented.
Yeah,
they were just missing some structure.
Yeah,
John at quarterback really helped out for that. But I'd still be expecting them to have more than just 3 wins after 8 games with John at quarterback.
I mean, let's be honest here. They've struggled, right? They've struggled for the most part of being in this league. Right now, they're 3 and 5. They beat us convincingly. I guess these guys.
Jonathan Evans to that team.
Yeah, I know. I mean, John's great.
So what are you giving them?
C+.
Okay.
They're 3 and 5. I love you, John. But I think C+ is a good grade. Good guys on the team, and I added the plus. You give them a C. So
I think that's a wrap.
Yeah, that's it for this week.
For our picks, make sure to read Kevin's article. I mean, most of you probably don't read his article, so make sure you scroll down to the end of the article. There's that green table, and you have all of our picks there. See if we picked you.
Try and avoid all the spelling mistakes in Kevin's article.
There's no spelling mistakes on the table where you see the...
Because you did that one, right?
We also have to shout out Kevin, who's currently tied in first place.
That's true. So you guys are at 70%, eh?
Yeah.
And John and I are at 62%?
Yeah. How does that make sense? He's actually climbing back up for real.
I think this is how he does his picks.
Yeah.
Like he blindfolds himself and throws darts.
I understood what you were trying to do.
Okay, well, you didn't seem like you did.
Yeah, because I just disappointed in it.
But that's it. We got 8 a.m. games this week. I can't believe I'm playing in one. I don't even think I'm going to go to bed on Friday. If you see me, don't be afraid to...
The kickoff's at 8. That means you have to be at the field in the 7-something.
If you see me, you can bring coffee. Always be much appreciated. I'll give you a shot.
How about you bring Jeff a coffee for once?
How about he does something for me for once? No, he gives me lifts. It's not true. I don't have my license. Love you, Jeff. But that's it for this week, folks. Like we talked about 8 o'clock. Bring your breakfast to the fields. Make sure you don't go too late to bed on Friday night. Super excited. Past the midway point of the season. Enjoy the second half of the season.
Let us know what you thought about the grades. Obviously, tell us why you didn't agree with us.
Yeah, for sure. You can also compliment us if you ever think about it. Yeah.
Even John stopped complimenting us.
Yeah, I don't even think he watches the episodes anymore.
Mr. and Mrs. Evans, thank you though.
Yes, Mr. and Mrs. Evans. That's all we really care about.
They get A pluses.
They get A++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++